Hello guys and welcome to another episode of How a Computer Works, and in this episode we'll be looking at enablers. And okay, let me first draw the diagram of an enabler and how it looks like, and then I'll be explaining to you how it works and what it is. And before I go any further, you should know that you should watch the previous video about the memory byte and how it works, and also what is a byte, and those previous videos. If you then it will be easier to understand this one. Okay, let's start. First I'll be drawing the logic gates, which you should know what they are. There are 8 AND gates in an enabler. Let me first draw and then I will explain. These are all AND gates. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 4 5 7 8. Okay, and then there is the output wire for each of them, which is this light blue color. These are all the output from this and logic gates. As you might have known, this is the AND gate, and let me just label these outputs O, and now I'll draw all those parts. These are input eyes. I didn't label them, but now I'll going to. This is one of inputs for this AND gate, one of those, and there is another input which is what we call the enable, maybe enabler, and this is, here is the cross section, here is the point of what parallel. So let me first draw this diagram and then I'll explain. Here you can see that here you can see that there is a big circle, which means that it is going parallel. It will go through to this one and then it will still go to this one, but all of the, and as these are bits, they will only have one state, and all of the same state will go through each of this and logic gate through these parallel wires. So it will all be same. If this E bit is 0, then all of them will be 0, and this AND gate will produce a 0. And if this enable is 1, then whatever I's are, that will be, if this I is 0, then even if the enable is on, it will still be 0, and if the I is on, then this will be 1. So if enable is on, which are 1, then whatever I are, it will be as outputted as O. So you can understand that if we keep this enable as 0, then all of this AND gate will also be 0. So in a way, this enabler is giving the permission for these 8 AND gates to record the input I. So this is actually makes sense. The name is enabler, which just definition is enables, not memorizes, enables for input to be taken, to be actually taken out. We'll be looking at the use of enabler later. Just learn how it actually works. And now I'll be drawing a simplified version of this whole diagram. E for enabler, and maybe I'll copy all of this, all of the O's, maybe. No, let me just draw it again. Still there are those 8 O's, 8 output O's, 4 5 6 7 and 8, and again those input for each of the outputs. Inputs, there are 8 of the inputs again, and that previous enabler. So this is the simplified version of the enabler. And now I'll be using this diagram to show you what is a register. Let me copy this diagram, and now I'll be using this diagram. Sorry, I didn't copy it. Let me first copy it. Sorry for this. Yeah, we got it. And now I will be using this to what is happening. Okay, now we got that out of the way, and now I'll be showing you how this actually works with the bits. Okay, let me erase this eyes, and now I'll show you how this enabler is used using the bits. Sorry, not bits, the byte. You should know what a byte is, if you don't, you can watch the previous video of how a byte looks like in terms of these logic gates. The input I, again, I'll just be connecting those these input I's again, and these inputs are now coming from this whole byte, which is a series of 8 bits, and there is a small s, which you should remember how it works if you have previously watched the video. And I'm again saying you, if you didn't watch, you can watch, and it will help you understand how byte works. So I'll be just connecting these two, and now we have got ourselves what we call is a register. And this register is simply using all of these bits from this byte, which is a series of 8 bits, and using the enabler button to memorize this whole byte using this enabler. And now this enabler will control when to remember the byte. So in a way, it is again enabling the byte to be remembered. And if this enabler E is 0, then this byte won't be remembered and output will be 0. And if this enabler is on or 1, then whatever I's are, output will be that. And if we again turn it off, then it will remain the output whatever it was previously, and if we again turn it on, it will again change from what is the current value of B. And now this is called a register. So register connects a byte to an enabler to capture the 8 bits, and this enabler will actually this register will only remember the most recent value or the last value. It would forget the previous value if the enabler is turned on again, and it will remember the new byte. So it will only remember the last values. Now I'll be drawing a simplified version of okay, let me just use this diagram, and I'll just change the logo. Again, we have those 8 inputs we have been talking about this whole time. The 8 inputs, sorry for all of the rewriting. And we will have the previous S, which from the byte, and now we'll be calling it an register. This is the simplified version of the register we have just previously seen. So that's all for today. If you have liked this video, please click the like button, and if you want to see more videos, you can always comment and stay tuned for the next video. Okay, that's all for today. If you want to learn more about how computer works, you can look read this book called But How Do It Know, written by Clark Scott. All of this material I have been using is actually taking help from this wonderful book written by Clark Scott about how actually a computer works, and it is for everyone, so everyone will be able to understand the simple language. And I have been using some of this content to create my videos. However, some of the content are copyrighted by Clark Scott by himself, but I have been given permission to use it. So anyways, if you want to learn more about how computer works, you can check this simple written book, But How Do It Know.